We all make choices that have consequences. Consequences that affect us in unimaginable ways, which destroy us and devastate our lives. God finds us in the deepest, darkest shadows of our consequences to show us hope, healing, and a plan for our lives.
Guy owed me money, owed me $100, and I literally pulled out a snub-nosed 38 in the parking lot, broad daylight, kids playing over here with football. I remember that clearly. I was a little bit drunk, but the guy was telling me he wasn't going to pay me and all this, and I pulled out a snub-nosed 38, and while he was pulling off, I literally aimed and shot. The bullet had missed his head, and it lodged into the air conditioner vent. And he was like, "Man, please don't shoot at me no more." And I was like, "Don't even worry about the money. I'm glad you're alive," because I thought I had hit him. I was almost pretty sure I had hit him, and I went and hid into the apartments down there. After that, I was like, man, I just did that on camera, and it all sunk in what just happened. Really, all I did all my life was start off strong-arming people, selling drugs, whatever I could do to get myself drunk and high. And then after that, I did pretty well selling drugs. I did roughly 54 months, got out, went looking for jobs, found me a couple jobs, actually, three people willing to hire me. And I was smoking synthetic marijuana. It's kind of funny, got out, it was like I had these plans that I was gonna do all this stuff and I was gonna do the right thing. And I was really trying, and according to myself, I was trying. Come back, and I'm just right back to the same old thing. And, guys smoking synthetic drugs, and just slipping down that path again. 16 days later, back in prison, getting out a second time, a couple months later. When I was getting out of prison, it was actually how God humbled me. Sitting there at the bus stop, and I remember for the first time in my life, I was scared. It was almost like I was just thinking about my life. First time I ever had really time to stop and think, I think. Everything I've done in my life, I've really never been scared. And I remember being scared because I remember thinking, I'm gonna either be dead or in jail again, or back to prison for longer than I already did 5 years. I'm like, I'm gonna end up doing 10, 15, 20 years, or I'm gonna die. I was pretty certain of that. And at that moment in time, I just remember calling out and saying, God, if you're up there, help me. That was literally my plea. My case manager in prison and my parole officer had said, well, there's 2 homeless shelters downtown. Go to one of them. And literally from the time of I believe the lowest point in my life, 2 hours later, I'm standing in front of Union Mission. After I got saved, I thought to myself, well, what am I gonna do with my life? I can't return. I don't want to return to that old life. One of my things was, I said, okay, I've claimed that I believe in Jesus Christ, and honestly, I don't know much. And he said, well, we will teach you that here. And I was like, all right. And I said, I'll give it a shot, and I'll see. You know what I mean? Because I had a lot of things on my mind. You're getting out of prison, 5 years in prison, and you're like, I got a lot of things I got to do. I've missed a lot. That's what my mind's thinking. I got out of prison on a Thursday. Was up here on Friday. That weekend I worked down at Crossroads. Monday I was talking to Dave Sneed in his office, and he was like, we don't play games up here in this program. If you're trying to shuck and jive, is his favorite saying, you might as well not even. I was like, look, I'm tired of my life. I need help. I don't know what to do. And it's basically the start of the program right there. It's funny because now everything I used to do in my past, I can now relate. And it's like, I know when guys are trying to put a blind over my eye, because I did that. I know when guys are hiding things, because in prison I had to become very good at hiding things. He's also used my testimony plenty of times with younger men when I was down at college. With that, juvenile facilities, so it's been awesome for him to even use my mess as a way to glorify himself and a way to attract other people to him. God has a plan for me.
To rebuild my family.
To show others what He can do with a broken life.
To be involved in jail ministry and to raise my son in a godly home as He had intended for me.
God has a plan for me to be a good mother.
To continue to grow.
To reach those that were just like me.
To be a productive human being.
To restore the relationship with my daughter, and with me having the opportunity to go to Word of Life, to get more knowledge about what Christ has done for me. I want to take it out to the world as His disciples did.
God has a plan for me to, I believe, an evangelist calling, to minister, to witness about Him and how great He is and what He did in my life. He can do the same for you.
God has a plan for me to tell you about Him.
To glorify Him in everything I do. I have an opportunity to do that by being a better husband, a better father, and to serve people here at Union Mission.
To raise my children to love Him and to make sure that their focus stays on Him.
To be the man that He intended for me to be, the father to my kids, the brother to my siblings, the son for my parents to look down on because neither one of them are here anymore. But God also has a plan for me to be a witness for Him, just as He told His disciples that they were to be witnesses for Him. And it's all for His glory, and I accept that truth, and I'm happy about it.
God has a plan for me.
God has a plan for me.
God has a plan for me.
In West Virginia today, there are thousands who are unaware that God has a plan for them, a plan for hope and healing, a plan for a future. Union Mission has a plan. You can be part of it. Help us share their stories. Pray, volunteer, give.